This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below. Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney, starting on time for once. I cheated a little bit. I used the National Institute of Time or whatever, the NIST time thing, or time.gov or whatever, which of course is now not showing up that I've checked my my thing on. Yeah, great. Let's see if I can get that fixed real quick. We actually wanted to look at. Yep. See, this is great. This worked a moment ago. Hang on one sec while I try and fix this. But I have an update for you in the Elderwood hex box trademark thing. And I thought that we could do a live stream about it because hello from Saskatchewan, Canada, says Gaspod 42able. Welcome, Brandon. I don't know if you're here yet on Discord.
I am.
He is. Great. So give me 1 second here to figure out why in the world Firefox just decided to break for me. I think I can do this. Let's see. How can I do? There we go. I can do this. Firefox window capture. Oh, game, because somehow it went to the Xbox game, the Windows game bar? No, that's not right. Hang on. This is bad. This was working a second ago. Let me try. Oh, you know what it was? Firefox restarted after an update. I wonder. Hang on, let me try closing it and reopening it. This is not good. This is going to put a wrench in our entire works if if Firefox has decided to suddenly like enable hardware acceleration or something. Yep, that's exactly what has happened. Something's going on here. And unfortunately, this is all I'm getting now. If I hit the transition button, that's all I'm getting. So yeah, that's not good. Let's turn that off real quick. How is everybody? Let's just shoot this shit for a moment while I figure out what the heck I have to fix this.
You want to switch to a display capture just for now?
I could switch. I could try to switch to display capture. The danger with display capture is that this is the same computer I have client information on, and if I accidentally did something, I could find myself in serious trouble. So I'm going to try to figure out where in the world Firefox's settings are, because I don't know where they are. Privacy
good
protections.
luck. Joe, how you doing?
Hello, Brandon. I'm doing well. How are you?
Let's see.
Good.
I'm
doing pretty well. Lots of exciting stuff going on right now.
Performance settings. Use hardware acceleration.
We're so trying to fill the air here, Leonard, but you're talking over us.
Sorry.
Oh, boy.
These are the wonders of live streaming. Okay, we're restarting fireworks. Fireworks. We're restarting fireworks with the hardware acceleration off. It is working. Okay, here we are. Excellent. Okay, so where am I now? Okay, so here's my face. Hello, this is my pretty face for you all. And I wanted to tell you that I was cheating with the time.gov thing, but who cares about that anymore? So here is our fundraiser. Load all this stuff up again now, and boom. All right. 3 minutes late, but boom. This is our GoFundMe, and holy mackerel, guys, you have done some great work here. We have raised like 99% of the goal. We've raised $2,452. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I love you all. And that's our show. Have a good night, everybody. See you later. No. So what has happened in the past? What has it even been 2 weeks? How long have we been doing this? December 25th was, it feels like a very short amount of time ago. It was literally 2 weeks ago. I cannot believe how fast the 2 weeks has gone. And I can't believe that we have raised this amount of money in 2 weeks. Now, I got very stressed out about this case because it took a little bit to get to today's events, but we did finally file for the extension of time to oppose. So we now have until February 8th, I think it is, because January is a 31-day month, and we had 30 days from January 9th. So that means February 8th is now our time to respond. I do know a lot more about our rights and responsibilities in this trademark. The big ones are that we don't get saddled with their fees and costs for opposing. So we don't have to worry about Mr. Taylor's being exposed to a lawsuit for fees and costs. That doesn't mean that we couldn't do something else to get a lawsuit, but, I have to turn this off now. Let's see, someone is live with an update in the Elderwood case, so I'm going to go watch that, guys. I'll be back. Okay, so, and then the other thing was that we can actually get 60 more days as an extension before we actually have to file the opposition. So technically, we can get a total of 90 days. The difference is that the 30 days that we've got is an automatic extension, and then the other 60 days we have to show good cause. So we do have to have our butts in gear for the next 30 days to make sure that we're doing things and we don't have good, make sure that we do have good cause if we do have to file for an extension, for a motion for extension of time. Robert, thank you for the $5. I do have a permit for off-holiday restarted fireworks. So, how about we just talk about this sort of all over again from the beginning. I'm going to check my email off screen to see if I have any email. Not yet from our trademark counsel, but we are currently waiting for a substantive email with an analysis of what we're about to talk about as well, like a professional legal analysis. So let me start sort of from the beginning. I'm going to go quick here because many of you are very familiar with what's going on, but a while ago, I guess it was 2018, September 20th, 2018, Elderwood Games filed a trademark application for this design here that my mouse is hovering over. This is the interior of a hexagonal-shaped dice box. It's only for dice boxes. That's this goods and services tab, or rather of the accordion here. Dice boxes, namely dice boxes specifically adapted for storing dice, wooden boxes adapted for storing components or dice, board game components, tabletop game accessories, accessories in the nature of boxes specifically adapted for storing board game components or dice. And so if you want to make this design in some other format for not dice boxes, for not those things, in a different category of goods and services, then they probably can't come after you. You'd still want to clear your trademarks by looking for other objects that have been trademarked. I'm sure there are other. If we caught this one because of Chris Taylor's involvement with Thingiverse, somebody got something somewhere through the thing. We've all heard of weird trademarks, like the Fine Brothers trademark on the word react. That one didn't go through. They dropped that one, but you could definitely imagine some weird trademarks. I can think of one, the pink color of Pepto-Bismol, I believe is or was a trademark. I think there's other color trademarks and things like that you would normally not think could be trademarked, but can. So when I made our last video, I almost immediately was reached out to by opposing counsel, Stephen MacArthur here from the MacArthur Law Firm, who was not very happy. And I'm going to be polite here. I do not have permission to flame opposing counsel from our trademark counsel, so I'm not going to do it. But he was not very happy that we were going to oppose, and he tried to convince me not to oppose, as you do, I guess. But that only made me want to oppose it more, because I did not feel like I do not feel that this is a trademarkable object, in my opinion, and that's why we're then pushing so hard to have an opposition action and have sort of a contest, a contest in front of the trademark trial and appeals board over whether this can be trademarked or not. And I want it to be a fair fight, and I'm willing to accept a loss. I don't mean that I want a loss in any way, but if at the end of this thing, or even better, at the beginning, if we're able to tell that there's really a trademark here and it shouldn't be opposed, then we'll donate the money to a good cause or something. I see people saying that the goal has been reached, but it's still sitting at 2452, but that's fine with me. I'm considering this the goal reached, and this is really awesome. I'm just really impressed. But back here. So what we did today was file this trademark extension proceeding or filing. And we have entered the correspondence address of our trademark attorney, Marina Lewis of the Lewis Kent Law Firm. She has an address here in San Francisco, and we have requested 30 days to oppose, and it was automatically granted, so we now have until February 8th. This should start the conversation, and I believe it already has, at least on our end. We've already received contact from people who send us things like this that say, hey, here is a hex box template that looks remarkably similar to the Elderwood Games box interior. Now this one has a dragon or something on the outside of it, but that's actually not what we're talking about with the trademark. We're talking about the interior. Now look at this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexagons and then these little half diamond shapes. And then go back here and look at this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexagons and then these full diamond shapes. So whether or not that distinction actually makes a difference is going to be part of this. And in that same line, I think that means this is confusingly similar. If I went to make a hexagonal dice box with this interior, is a consumer going to be able to distinguish that from a hexagonal dice box with this interior, or are they going to get confused? I think they would get confused, and that sort of confusion would give a trademark holder the right to pursue a trademark infringement action or takedown or something, much like my client, Chris Taylor, has received. And that's the basis of our filing a trademark opposition. You have to have standing to file a trademark opposition. Filing a trademark opposition when you don't make anything or own anything in this category of goods with this trademark, you don't have standing most of the time. If you think you want to oppose, don't let me tell you not to, but what you want to do is reach out to a trademark counselor. I don't even mind if you contact us and we'll consider whether you would like to be part of our action. However, you've got a very short amount of time to get your extension in because our extension only covers Chris Taylor. I have heard from others who will be doing similar things, filing an extension. We'll see if that happens. But right now, the only person who has the right to oppose is Chris Taylor, or excuse me, only the person who has the right to extend is Chris Taylor. I'll rephrase it again. The only person who has filed an extension of time is Chris Taylor. So Chris Taylor will only be able to do that, file an opposition within the extended time now. Everybody else can still file by, I think it's January 9th, which is tomorrow, but you have to have standing to do so, and I wouldn't recommend you do that unless you have talked to a trademark attorney and come to the decision that is the right thing to do for you. But if you don't know, you better do it quick, and because you've got till tomorrow, I think, to do it. I keep saying I think because I don't like these time periods. I don't like to cut these time periods close, which is why I did this today, which is why we got this in today, because even if 30 days is tomorrow, I don't like to wait till the 30th day. What if there's a glitch in the system or something? What if I'm trying to do it at 11:59 p.m. at night and this is a glitch in the system, it doesn't go through, and then I can't do it at 12:01 a.m. So I do it the day before. And so if you haven't done it already, you should be doing it or talking to your attorney real quick. I don't know how else you would be able to oppose. So if this becomes the only avenue for opposition, then this is our only avenue for opposition. Why do we think we're able to oppose? Well, it's the same reasons that the trademark examining attorney cited in their opposition, or let's see, it's not an opposition. They called it an office action. And if you remember from the previous thing, I kept calling the opposition an office action, and I couldn't seem to get myself to stop. So ours is an opposition, theirs is an office action. The trademark examining attorney will look at the application and then decide whether or not it fits the law of trademarks. If it does not fit the law of trademarks, then you get something like a refusal. Here's an action. Here is a refusal. They then had correspondence from a law office, and then it was suddenly approved. Why was it suddenly approved? They filed 6 affidavits or declarations under oath from people who claimed that this design was distinctive to them and they identified this design with Elderwood and no one else. But in that video and in these documents, I noticed that the text was all identical. It did not seem to be written in their own words. It seemed to be written by the attorney and sent to them and everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, I do think that it's not a strong trademark, and those affidavits and things are not strong evidence. And so I'm currently waiting on our trademark counsel to tell us whether actually filing the opposition, which will require paying someone a fairly significant amount of money, and then maintaining the office action. Damn it, I did it again. Maintaining the opposition will probably require a lot more money. So right now, our fundraising efforts will definitely get us through the analysis. I believe we're spending, this is not a promise, but I believe it's about $500 we're going to be spending to get a professional opinion on whether this should be opposed and how. And then estimates of what an opposition action could cost in total are about $30,000. So that's because there's a lot of expertise and a lot of time involved, and it is a back and forth adversarial hearing. So we don't want to have to raise. I don't want to have to ask you for $30,000. So we're trying to find alternatives. I'm trying to work with our counsel to see what the costs on their end will be. Do they really require $30,000 or more dollars? Or is there something we can work out? Can we work with multiple different attorneys who all donate a part of their time or something? Or maybe we get some kind of discount or something. But, remember, these are professionals. And as much as I'm not taking any money here, and maybe I should have, but I'm not. As much as I'm not taking any money here, these are professionals who deserve to be fairly compensated for their time. They have student loans to pay. They've got an office in San Francisco, which cannot be a cheap thing, right? So, this is an important thing to fairly pay your attorney. You never want, think about this. You're hiring a professional to represent you, to stand in for you, to advocate for you. If they can't eat, if they can't sleep, if they can't pay for their stuff, let alone if they can't do all of that and be at least a little bit comfortable in their lifestyle, they're going to be distracted a little bit. And the worse that gets, the more they're distracted. So you really can't and don't want to hire a cheap attorney and not pay them and stuff, because what do you expect then? Do you really expect them to go to the ends of the earth for you when they don't have any resources to do so? Think of it like the Shackleton expedition. You're definitely not going to survive the South Pole if you don't have the proper resources. So, this is really cool, guys. I'm blown away that this is what you guys are able to do, is raise this kind of money. Let's see what what chat says. I'm sure you have some questions. How can you trademark the functionality of a hexagonal box? Weak trademark, not in the spirit of the law, says Augusto. That's so let me try to talk about both sides of this without getting myself in trouble. The hexagonal shape of the box, to me, seems to be more than just a shape. Normally, a trademark would be on a non-functional item, and if an item is functional, you need to do a patent of some kind, a design patent or something. Sure, you can have trade dress, which is what opposing counsel has told me this is, but still, I don't think trade dress can be functional. Maybe there's a level of trade dress that can be functional or something. I don't actually know. I'm looking forward to the analysis. But if these are cutouts to put items into, I find that to be functional in my just non-professional mind. Now, we really need to do the legal research. I feel like I'm repeating myself here. The legal research to figure out at what level does it switch over from functionality to trademarkable. I don't actually know where that is. It seems pretty clear to me that when something is functional, it can't be trademarked. But here we have two halves of a box that have this interior design to them, and the other half of the box has a design too, an inverse of that, and they fit together. And the boxes, the holes in the box store things. And these circular cutouts are to hold magnets, which hold the box halves together. That seems very, very functional to me and does not seem like something that they should be able to trademark. Let alone that this, although it's an arrangement of hexagons, it's a very natural honeycomb arrangement of hexagons inside a hexagon box. And then these diamond shapes are also a natural occurring sort of relief of having the honeycomb placed this way. On the other hand, you could arrange these hexagons in another way. We already saw over here that here's 7 hexagons tilted slightly, 60 degrees? Tilted 60 degrees to one direction, and it creates a different set of relief cuts. Is that really enough to trademark it? Just rotate the hexagon assembly, the 7 hexagons by 60 degrees, and then all of a sudden, no more consumer confusion. No one will be confused or buy the wrong box because I don't know. I don't hear it. I hear myself saying it, and then my brain goes, nah, and I don't even finish the sentence. So I'm not even sure what we expect Elderwood to do with this, but they seem to be willing to fight hard for it. And if they're willing to fight hard for it, then we're going to have to fight equally as hard in order to prevent it. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
I don't know. I'm really excited about this. Maybe a bit too excited. How about we go over a little bit of the things that we went over last time? I just want to show you some of these things that we're talking about here. What did they file? Is what I'm looking for. That's nothing. That's nothing.
And look at their letters. These signed letters from everyone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of looking for. I have to figure out where it is again. TRM snapshot amendment. TEAS request for reconsideration. I think this was it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and then these were the things. Okay, PDF. Okay, so these are all the PDFs, and some of these are declaration, and then they just say exhibits 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we might have to look through these to see which one's which. Let's just start at the beginning real quick, because we did this a little while ago, so I'm going to sort of speed through it here. Here is Dogmite LLC, who makes high-quality wooden gaming equipment, and they use this language. They say, the things that make Elderwood's hex chest are the hexagonal shape of the box, which I think is not trademarkable by itself. The 6 diamond shapes with rounded corners on the inside lid of the box. Okay. The 6 matching diamond shapes with pointed edges on the base of the box. The beehive or honeycomb arrangement of hexagonal cutouts as they exist on the bottom of the box, and the blunted 6-point star design inside of the top of the box. And he says, or they say, for me, these features are distinctive and distinguish Elderwood's hex chest from other dice boxes, including theirs. I guess they sell one of their own. And I'm okay. I mean, I don't agree with the statement that makes it distinctive, but that's what it is. Here's another one. This is from Nicholas Dyke, who is Elderwood Academy's representative. Now, I feel like that's an insider, and we don't necessarily let insiders act as secondary acquired distinctiveness. It's called acquired distinctiveness. Well, what is that? I just used a weird word. So there are 4 levels of trademark protection. I've gone over this before, but there are 4 levels of trademark protection, and the lowest is merely descriptive. And that's not really good enough. That's like the Joe's Battery and Tire example. It's a battery and tire shop owned by Joe. That's merely descriptive. But you could still get a trademark on it if you can show that the public recognizes that Joe's Battery and Tire, that brand name, is only associated with one business or one trade, one product or service in a certain geographical area. And they're trying to do this for the entire country. So their geographical area is everybody. And they have to show that acquired distinctiveness reaches a certain level of recognition that then gives them trademark protection. And so this, what I'm calling inside person, who's a representative for Trinity, for Elderwood at Trinity Group International, or maybe that's in reverse. Maybe that's Trinity Group's employees, one of Trinity Group's employees who is the agent or whatever who deals with Elderwood Academy. Maybe Trinity Group works with Amazon and they vouch for their customers. Trinity Group vouches for their customers. I don't think you can really do that either. That's sort of meaningless, I think, as well. And they say the exact same thing. The hexagonal shape of the box, the 6 diamond shaped cutouts on the inside and the bottom, and the beehive arrangement and the blunted 6-point design. And so this, I believe, is the minimum. These 6 affidavits were, I believe, the minimum to get through the examining attorney's office action. Here is Drew Folk, Norse Foundry, makers, sellers of premium dice in the gaming space. And they say the exact same thing. And that these features make it distinctive and distinguish it from other dice boxes. And then Quentin Weir. Quentin Weir is Elderwood Academy's co-founder. He does not use that language, and that's fine because he can't. I mean, they can file it, but the examining attorney is going to disregard it from what we read before. This is where they go into advertisements and things showing that the market recognizes the distinctive shape of the thing. However, if you look closely at some of these, for example, the marketplace doesn't necessarily say, look at the inside of this box. It's the sole thing for the trademark. No, it's just a picture of the box. Well, here we don't even have a picture of the box. Is that the one I just clicked on? That's probably the one I just clicked on, isn't it? No. Down here will be an advertisement. Coming into this week, I thought I wouldn't have much to talk about. First up is a game board accessory, Hex Chest Remasters from Elderwood. They are essentially handcrafted dice carrying cases. Nothing in here says this particular arrangement belongs to them or look for this particular arrangement. I don't even know what these pictures have to do with the Hex Chest box, but okay. Maybe I missed something there. I'm going through it quickly. Let me scroll down here a little bit and see if we have any more declarations. And let me check my email too, because I'm eagerly awaiting whether or not we have any new. Nothing yet. So here's another. Now, see, this I don't have a problem with. A decorative design, I don't know about this particular design. I don't know its origins or its trademarkability, but a decorative design doesn't seem to bother me. This Elderwood Academy logo and name doesn't bother me at all. It's when they get into, we own the inside of the box. I don't like that. I don't think that this, remember, this is without taking into account any decorative features. They're just saying, because these diamond shapes make this shape, and these 7 hexagons make this shape. We own it. And I don't agree. And here's the inside with the 1, 2, with the 6-point star. And they say they own that because of that. And it's high quality. But I see nothing in this article that says, the honeycomb shape is this particular shape, and that is distinctive enough for a trademark or anything. So I'm not sure why this article actually gives them any stronger trademark claim. Again, though, we'll talk to our trademark attorney and see what we can determine about whether it's worth moving forward. I swear there were more declarations. Yes, here we are. Ted Sikora, a board game journalist, and he uses the same 5 points here, the hexagonal shape, the diamond shapes on the lid and the base, the hexagonal cutouts. I am not aware of any product which uses the same design elements. Well, that's funny. We're gonna be pointing them out to the Trademark Trials and Appeals Board. That's what I think we're going to be doing. Here's a declaration of Doug Johnson, who is an online retailer of Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing game items. And he says that this is distinctive as well. And I think that's as far as it goes. There might be one more. Let's see. Nope, this is an advertisement or a journalist article. Here's another article. So I think that's it. I think they've only filed something like 5 or 6 declarations in favor. And so what we have then to do is do our own research and figure out whether there's enough people out there who have either sold something before this, or sold this exact thing, or just attack this on functionality grounds, on basic shapes grounds, and see where the dice fall. See if we can roll a critical hit on Elderwood Games.
Oh, I'm actually drinking coffee out of my Crit Happens cup right now.
Crit Happens.
Yes, Tactical Broad bought it for me. On one side it says Crit Happens and it has a dice with a 1, and the other side says Crit Happens and it has a dice with a 20. And she bought it for me because I was doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing with Lawful Masses, which we still have to talk about that, by the way, at some point.
Yeah, I would like. We should do that.
Because that group that I did that's on the hiatus, but I don't know if we're ever going to get back to it. But that was supposed to be a beta for like our group doing it maybe on live stream and stuff. So
where do we go from here? One, we're going to continue to ask for your money, because I know that this is not the end of it, but I'm not going to ask for significantly more money, and I'm not going to change the goal. Oh, we did make the goal. Look at that. Thank you very much to the last few people, including these people here, who brought this up to $2,540. You are awesome. Thank you so very much. Let's see top donations here. Wow, somebody gave $220. Thank you, William. Thank you to Anthony, Brian, a couple anonymous people, Jason, Kevin, the Global Hex Awareness Project, Erica. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I believe I've thanked you all personally. That was me typing the thank you messages to each of you. So thank you all very, very much. I can't get to all of you. These are just the top. Let me see all donations, and we'll go all the way down here, because here we go. So starting from 14 days ago, look at all these wonderful people who have donated money to help us defend or oppose this trademark application from ever becoming a real trademark. Remember, if they get this, they're going to have it permanently. As long as they continue to sell this design, no one else can sell this design. And trademarks are not meant to protect designs in the functional design sense. That's what patents are for. And Marauder correctly points out that they, I believe, on information and belief, Your Honor, I believe that they have filed for a design patent and been denied. And I believe they used that patent application to try and take down Chris Taylor's box as well. My understanding is that they tried trademark, they tried patent, and they tried copyright. And the farthest that they've gotten is with the trademark application. I don't know firsthand about the copyright and patent bases and the status of those applications and things. You can certainly copyright this drawing in that sense, but that doesn't mean that no one else can ever draw a basic shape. You'll have to go through a court action. A copyright being granted does not mean that you have the exclusive right to it automatically. It means you have copyright protection, and if someone uses your copyright and it's not a fair use, etc., or if well, yeah, mostly if it's not a fair use, and they can get you on some kind of copyright infringement. So, yeah, this is really remarkable. I am really excited. Has Leonard seen how many of these boxes are on Etsy? See, these are all the things that we're going to be looking for. Why was there not an update earlier? Because it was the holidays, and we had trouble. Basically, our trademark counsel was on vacation, and, as you do, until this Monday or so. And then when you come back to work as a lawyer on Monday, the first work day of the year, there's a whole bunch of people who are looking for things. And so I was one of those people looking for things, and it just took till today until we were able to work everything out. There's a little bit of back and forth we have to do. If I could have gotten a full analysis by now, I would have brought you a full analysis by now. And in fact, we did make another video that is now currently sitting on our YouTube channel, and we're not going to post it because I don't have approval yet from our trademark counsel. So, did I really expect our trademark counsel to watch our video in the last 2 days while she's also trying to catch up from all the things that are happening at the beginning? No, that was probably a little bit too eager of me. But we now have 30 more days. We can probably get 60 more days after that. And that will be where we look into how many of these things are on Etsy, how long have they been there, are these 6 declarations really valid, or is it really more like 2 or 3 of the declarations mean something and the others are from people that are too inside the company or too interested and they get thrown out? Can you really trademark a functional thing with acquired distinctiveness after a certain level of trademark, after a certain level of distinctiveness or secondary acquired distinctive? I don't know. I will need to work with our counselors to figure that out. And then that's when we'll have another update for you. That's when I'll boost the goal to what we think we actually need. And that's when we'll give you more details I don't have right now. We'll give you more details on our theories of our case. And even then, sometimes you don't want to give too much away because lawyers are pretty good. I know Stephen MacArthur is going to watch this and figure out whether there's anything that I said or did that could be used to help their case or not. So I'm just going to keep quiet about further strategy other than to say thank you very much for your interest in opposing this. Share this with your friends and family and everybody on Facebook and Reddit and Twitter. And I don't know when the next tabletop convention is, but maybe we go to the next tabletop convention and walk around and see what's going on. Maybe we interview people. I would love to have to fly someplace and interview people about hexagonal dice boxes and see whether they have, what their experience with these kinds of dice boxes is. So we can find out then whether we have a really good case or not. Questions. So Marauder points out about trade dress on the Coke bottle. So what makes a Coke bottle trade dress trademarkable. It is not the fact that it's a bottle. Like, a bottle is functional. Anybody can make a bottle. But it's the overall shape of the bottle, because the actual curvature of the bottle doesn't matter. It's not, that part's not functional. If I actually have one here, hang on a sec. So here is a glass Coke bottle with Kaylee's name on it, which I will try not to drop because she really likes this one. But something along these lines is trademarkable. What is trademarkable about this? It's not any one thing. It is the shape of the bottle, the very specific shape. I don't just mean a bottle. I mean the shape of the bottle. It is the red color of the label with the swoosh through it. That's probably part of it. It is the red here and red on the bottle cap, and probably these cutouts here. I'm not sure. Maybe you can make an argument that the cutouts help grip. I don't think they really help grip. Maybe they do, but that's trademarkable. What's not trademarkable is a bottle, or maybe the little cutout on the bottom that helps the machine grip the bottle. Or maybe the bottle cap, is not, a crimped bottle cap should probably not be by itself trademarkable. But at some point, I do agree that a hexagonal shaped box could become trademarkable. And the way I've said it before is that I think Elderwood and I are standing next to one another, but on opposite sides of the issue. And that if they just simply did a little bit more, then I would have no problem with their trademark. And their position, not speaking for them, but my understanding of their position is that if we just did a little bit different with Chris Taylor's hexagonal dice box, then they wouldn't have a problem with it. If we just rotated it by 60 degrees or something, I believe he even said. I don't have an actual quote, so I don't want to speak for them, but that's what it is. So I am feeling a great sense of relief that we got this in on time, and that we got the 30 days already, and that we have Trademark Council, and that you guys raised the money. Because 2 weeks ago, I was really wondering what I got myself into, and whether it had been a good idea or not, and whether I was going to need to make a video eating crow, which I would have. I would have made a video apologizing and retracting statements and things if I had to, because that's what you do. But I'm not there yet. And until I get an analysis from our counselor telling us that this is nuts and we shouldn't do it, I'm on the other side of it. In fact, the initial assessment from our counselor was that this is worth looking into. And I felt very validated by that. I was literally jumping up and down when I got off the phone, because I was so excited that we weren't wrong in the, in that sense, weren't entirely wrong, and we don't even know if we're partially wrong. So are my tax dollars paying for trademark lawyers on this? I don't know. The trademark lawyers are private attorneys. These are Elderwood's attorneys and now our attorneys. And the only the only taxpayer money is at the examining attorney level and the Trademark Trial and Appeals Board. So your taxpayer dollars in the US are paying for the Trademark Trials and Appeals Board, who will hear our opposition action if and when we file one. The other way this could work out is, now that we have officially filed something, sometimes there's a game of brinksmanship. And the closer that we get to actually filing our opposition, the more Elderwood might be willing to talk about a compromise or something. I don't know what the compromise is in this situation. Compromise would involve them dropping the trademark. I don't think they want to do that. So I don't know where the compromise is going to be on this one, but I will let more experienced counselors than I work on that problem. What I have done here is been the outreach for the fundraising to you, so that we can get this whole thing started and get this far. If we didn't have this kind of support, I can tell you this would probably not be possible on our end, maybe we just have to leave it to somebody else to fight the good fight. Well, there's bystander syndrome. If you're not familiar with it, everybody thinks that everybody else is going to be the one to step in and fight the good fight. So nobody fights the good fight. I've even been the victim of bystander syndrome, and I was jumped, and nobody jumped in to help because they all just watched, and that's weird. And this happens with trademarks too. So,
and I mean, when you say that you're relieved, it really has been like a stressful week, hasn't it? I mean, some of the stuff we can talk about, some of the stuff we can't talk about, but we met with Luke from Floatplane last week.
We signed our floatplane agreement. Wow. This is just Coke. I swear I'm not drunk. I'm honestly just so happy, so relieved that things have gone well.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Leto, the collaborations with Steve Leto, you can go check out the second collaboration on his channel. It's up. It's like 39 minutes long. Some other collaborations we can't talk about. All the litigation stuff with the various cases that. Yeah, it's just really. We have some really
cool things coming up that I cannot talk about. All I'll confirm here is about the Take-Two Interactive case. I'm preparing to enter my appearance on behalf of Jonathan Wyckoff in the Take-Two matter, the Red Dead Redemption matter. I can say nothing more about it, absolutely nothing more, and I apologize for complete radio silence on that one. We ended up taking down his interview, as that was the best course of action there. So again, can't talk about it. In fact, no one can talk about it. So going to go radio silent on that one. But I wanted to let you know that that's what this does. This kind of outreach allows us to help people who need to be helped. And we should be able to help Jonathan Wyckoff in the Take-Two Interactive matter. When that's complete, I'll have certainly agreed with something will be agreed on by opposing counsel, and we'll be able to talk about whatever the disposition of that matter was. Certainly anything that's public record we can talk about, but right now I can't talk about anything.
And we're not going to be talking about any future collaborations at the moment either, right? We're going to wait on that, I think. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean,
that is also very silent, very quiet.
Yes.
Future collaborations with Steve Vito are welcome. That's the most I can say about that.
Yeah. It's been a really exciting week, though. That's for sure.
Very exciting. Looking forward to getting our official start on Floatplane. We've already been onboarded and accepted and all that, and it's just a matter of there's a bunch of people who I believe is it Ian with Forgotten Weapons? I believe they're on Floatplane now. I think I saw the announcement. That's really cool. I'm really happy to hear that people are going to have diversification. They're going to have a backup plan for when YouTube. I don't understand this, but when YouTube changes everything and starts screwing over certain creators in certain categories, like now they're doing it with the kids stuff. And I feel really bad about the kids stuff. It was never supposed to be that way. COPPA has been in place for over 20 years. So there was no reason for YouTube to violate the law there and then get creators involved in it. And then now everything has to change for those creators who've depended upon YouTube's interpretation of COPPA. Or rather, misinterpretation of COPPA. And then when you read YouTube's announcements, it's like, the FTC had some concerns. Because of these concerns, we have to do this, this, and this. No, the FTC sued them and they had to pay $170 million.
Yeah, the FTC didn't have concerns. The FTC sued you into the ground, YouTube. Like, that's what happened.
So... yeah, it's not that YouTube isn't a great platform, it's that YouTube has suffered the same fate as every organization seems to suffer when they get large enough. They start to have tremendous blind spots. They hire people who don't have the creators or employees' best interests at heart and instead start to cater in favor to only the largest interests, and they just sort of screw over the small creators or small people. And that's what we felt too. We've had to start diversifying. YouTube could have had all of our Patreon and sponsors money because they could have implemented a feature like that, or could have made it so that we never had to leave the platform for sponsorship. YouTube could have done a bunch of things to keep that money in their ecosystem, and they chose not to, because it was just easier to go with bigger creators and like cut it off and like say, okay, now you don't get monetized for, you know, a different, change the monetization threshold, change the guidelines, make them into guidelines, so we don't even have rules anymore. Now we just have loosely interpreted guidelines. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
So, would it be possible for you to file a class action against YouTube for sidestepping international copyright law, embezzling funds to claimants who didn't take their... I don't know that those words work the way you think that they do. Embezzlement would have to be some kind of fraudulent misrepresentation. I don't know that you're going to find that it was considered fraudulent. What I'm talking about is their behavior being shitty, not their behavior being illegal. It's not illegal for me to turn around one day and say, oh, well, thank you for all your support for Lawful Masses. I've sold Lawful Masses to evil XYZ Corporation, and they're now going to squeeze everybody for every dollar they can. It's not illegal. It's just shitty. And that's what I feel like YouTube is doing. They have taken all of the major media corporations and favored them over content creators, the same content creators who made YouTube the platform that it is today by being content creators on it. YouTube is a video hosting site, and sure, they have some great features that make them a little bit more than a video host, but they wouldn't have had that. They wouldn't have had anybody driving on their roads unless the content creators actually came and drove their cars on the roads. So unless anybody, you know, made videos for years and years and years and made YouTube as popular as it was, they wouldn't have then be able to sell it out to major media content creators or content creators from major media organizations, and then favored them over small creators. I mean, I get it. I'll take a $50 bill over a $5 bill any day. But when the $50 bill comes with the conditions that I have to screw over somebody who really needs $5, I don't take the $50. That's just me, though. Apparently, I'm a minority.
Blackleaf is looking to sell, it seems. That's what he said in chat.
Blackleaf will accept takeover bids from evil XYZ Corp.
Yeah.
350.
350.
I bid 350. Tree fitty. All right, so what do we think, guys? I mean, I've kept you here for almost an hour just talking about, you know, trying to repeat like the little bit of information that we have over and over again. And now I've gotten on my soapbox about YouTube, so this is probably where we should end it. So yeah,
probably.
So thank you very much. Let me reload this one more time. I don't imagine, oh, somebody has. We've had a couple more donations. Thank you to Erica and John and Anonymous and Jesse. And I think we're back to Anonymous and Erica. Yeah, so this is great, guys. I'm really, really happy. This really takes a big load off my mind. I really thought we were going to have to write an opposition by ourselves with no help, and this gives us a good start. And I will make a future video about needing more money when we have a full analysis, and I've gotten approval from our council to do so. Why wouldn't I just start calling Elderwood names like I was going to? Because maybe we're going to talk to them, and it's much easier to talk to them when we haven't been mean to them. I disagree with them on the legal issue here. I'm not trying to say that they're bad people. This is, hey, if I was selling something, Lawyer Simulator, we tried to trademark Lawyer Simulator as a, I'm not selling Lawyer Simulator yet, so how can you trademark something that's not being sold? They have a way to do that. So we filed for an intent to use trademark on Lawyer Simulator, for example, and the trademark examining attorney said, you've got a bunch of issues here. Lawyer Simulator is merely descriptive of being a lawyer, so no, you can't make a video game about being a lawyer and call it Lawyer Simulator and expect that nobody else could ever call a game Lawyer Simulator. Maybe this is why it's called Sid Meier's Railroad Tycoon or Sid Meier's Civilization, because maybe just a game about civilization that's called Civilization is too descriptive. So
that is very plausible. I had never thought about that.
So it's probably going to be called Leonard French's Lawyer Simulator or something like that. And then after some level of acquired distinctiveness, I would file a trademark for Lawyer Simulator all by itself. And then we would be in the same position as Elderwood. Some enterprising attorney, some scorned person who wanted to make a Lawyer Simulator of their own could come along and say, but that's mean. Like, he doesn't, it's just descriptive. That's not trademarkable. And you know what? That, to a point, that's just a disagreement. I'm not trying to say that Elderwood is bad people. They want to protect their right to make these boxes as best as they can. And that's something you do. So, John Mulvaney. John Mulvaney? John Mulvaney. What's his name?
John Mulvaney.
Mulvaney, thank you. I haven't watched the video yet. I'm just dropping names because I want to be cool.
You're cool.
Oh, am I? Thank you.
Boomer.
I'm 2 generations removed from boomers. I'm on the opposite side of the Strauss-Howe generational theory 4-cycle thing.
I think saying you're 2 generations removed is a bit of a stretch. You were born right on the border. I mean, you consider yourself a millennial, but...
Oh, I definitely consider myself a millennial. 1981 is the most common number that I use for that I see for the threshold, and I was born in 1980, so I'm like 1 year. But
yeah,
do I really? Do I remember anything from the 70s? Do I remember attitudes from the 70s? No. My parents had conservative attitudes from that more aptly created the millennial generation, not the conservative attitudes that created the 13th generation.
Yeah,
generation
I feel
X.
You. Yeah, I feel you, but I don't know. Your parents are definitely boomers, though. I've met them.
My parents are definitely boomers, and I love them very, very much. But holy mackerel, I have some disagreements with their worldview.
Holy mackerel is an apt phrase.
I'm trying to be so polite. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I really do. I really do. They're wonderful people. I just disagree with them on some things. Anyway, so let's see. Let's go down here. Let's see. 40d6. Can you really roll 40 dice? Or is it?
You can.
Okay.
You can. I mean, it would take a while, but
now we're having now everyone in chat is having a conversation about whether they're different, generations or not.
That would be 40 short swords slashes. Damn, are you okay?
Yeah, I muted the chat for that, so you heard it, but nobody else did.
All right. Quick question before you go into the. So the chat has no idea what I'm talking about. All right. Before you go into the patrons and stuff, are you up for a video game after this? Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Should we do it on Twitch?
I'll stream it on my. So I'll stream on my channel. I want you to try a new video game using a new feature on Steam. So I'm gonna tease that.
You want me to try a new video game after you just got me excited for playing an old video game?
What?
What new video game?
Binding of Isaac. Well, it's not new for you.
Oh, okay.
It's not new. It's just new for you.
I'm familiar with it. Is that a multiplayer game?
Apparently, it is now. Okay. So that's the teaser. It is apparently there is a way that you can play together. So I want to try that.
Okay. If not Rocket League.
Yes. If not, The backup is Rocket League. But I'll put the link in chat if anybody wants to join us.
All right. Hang on one sec.
This is a community-supported legal education channel. Find out how you can support our mission at the links in the description below.
And in the month of January, thank you very much to our $50 plus supporters, Apernari, John Steele, Gavin Barnard, Kyle Mudrak, Michael Pearce, Jan Negrey, Spirit Bear, Daniel Perez, Snorre Wisotzky, Blackleaf, Joe Tyson, Eevi, Benjamin Hitov, Stephen, Cute Grills in your area, and Ottah. And thank you very much to the rest of you who will be in the description of below. The $5 plus supporters also get put into the description of the videos. When this one finally finishes processing the stream, we'll throw everybody in and do the tags and everything like we do. So thank you very much. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. I will see you in the next video that drops. I have no idea when that's going to be because we didn't create as many videos as I wanted to this week because of all this. Anyway, love you. Bye.